Hey dudes and chicks and neither if those rules don't apply to you, welcome to Pick for Last Time. My name is Katie. Today, I am going to be doing a look with the Sun and Moon palette. This was a subscriber gift to me from my friend Kirsten, and she sent this to me for a while ago, and I actually did a video and I already used it and did a look with it, and I told a harrowing tale that I told you guys I was gonna upload late. Well, when I went back through my film and shit, I can't fucking find the video anywhere. So essentially this is my second time using it, and I love this palette so much. Kirsten, thank you so much for knowing that I needed this and like knowing my heart. She actually pretty much is like my fucking YouTube homie, and her and I talk a lot, and honestly she always gives me really good suggestions and I always fucking take them. And one of those suggestions was to watch, and I told you guys this before, but if you go on Netflix and you watch this guy, he's a stand-up comedian, his name is Daniel Sloss, and he does 2 stand-ups. One of them is called Dark and the other is called Jigsaw. And it says they're 2 different seasons, but really it's like a stand-up and a stand-up, and they're like a year apart. They're really fucking funny and also really educational and insightful. So, total game changers. If you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look, or hearing what I have to say during this Get Ready With Me. So basically I'm going to be telling you guys about my new boyfriend and talking about the big 3, your sun, your moon, and your rising. I have a lot of people in the comments like tell me, or like just otherwise tell me that they're interested in this. And so this is just like basic shit. It's kind of a lot of information, but it's also super informative, and I kind of break it down a little bit simple so that people can get it and go find out what your own sun and moon and rising are and maybe what that means. So anyways, if you guys are interested in finding out any of that shit, like, just hang out. I have both of my eyes primed with my P. Louise primer in Rumor 02, and the reason why is because I want to get this really even. I'm going to do a halo eye, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I normally do, so I really want to be careful to get each side. So I'm going in with my KALEIDOS S4, the flat brush, and I'm going to use the color Black Hole. And I'm just going to start putting this in the outer V. Oh yeah, that's going to be really good. And then I'm going to put it in the inner corner. And I'm not going to talk for just a second here so I can not fuck this up. Yeah, that looks really good. So today I'm going to talk about my boyfriend. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me and my new boyfriend. Basically, I have mentioned on here that I have a new boyfriend. Those of you who have been here for a long time know I've had some little fiascos, if you will, a couple little sexcapades. Like, I've pretty much been really transparent with you guys. The deal is I've been single for about 7 years in recovery. My last breakup in my last real relationship really fucked me up, and so I just basically knew I had a lot of growth to do, and so I waited for a while, and then I've dated a few times, and basically like each time has been like a learning experience where I got to be like, this isn't what I want. I'm gonna kind of talk about my boyfriend in like a context. So essentially, like, do you ever wonder why you read about your horoscope, or you like read about your sun sign and you're like, that isn't me at all? Like, I think horoscopes are bullshit, because every single time I read about my sign, that's not how I am at all. And so I just think that's bullshit. Or every single time a palette comes out that's like your zodiac sign, Virgos, I'm looking at you, and it's like earth tones, and you're like, I love bold makeup, like what the fuck? It's because you're actually comprised, I mean, in this school of thought, like, if you don't think it's horseshit, I'm just gonna say it as if it's as if it's the deal. So I do believe it's the deal, but that doesn't mean everybody does, right? So if you think it's like horseshit or whatever, that's totally cool, but I'm gonna kind of talk about it in this context as if it's like the deal, because I don't want to sit here and fuck around backpedaling this whole time like what I'm doing now. So essentially you're comprised of your where all your planets are in your houses. And so essentially all of us are every sign a little bit in certain ways, like whether it's with our finances or whatever. In relationships, in the way we work, in the way we present ourselves in public, there's all these different things, right? But importantly, like what you actually are is you're a combination of your big three. And so your big three is your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant or your rising sign. I'm a Virgo. And for my entire life, I've wondered, okay, I'm going to go in with my UC 85. My entire fucking life, I've wondered why. I'm going to go into Neptune. And I'm going to kind of just start blending out the edges. I'm going to go 50% on and 50% off. This brush is really small, so it's going to be ooh, this is super pigmented. Wow. Your sun sign doesn't accurately exactly describe all of who you are. Your sun and your moon and your rising do. For the last like a really long time, I've basically dated Virgo after Virgo. I'm a Virgo, sun sign. I always I'm just always really drawn to Virgos. There's a couple of Virgos on this platform that like automatically we were like fast friends. Like I'm just drawn to Virgos. And so my husband was a Virgo, and basically like we argued about every fucking thing. Some of you guys were here when I had my Tinder experience, and like, I don't know if any of you remember, but I was going to see a Virgo, and basically like him and I like really had these like amazing conversations the entire time I was there. Cause I like traveled to a couple towns away to go meet him and stuff. And like we had sex, and like the sex was like super lame, you know? And so I was supposed to stay there for 2 days, and instead I like got really tired and I just wanted to go home. And so I told him the next day, I was like, hey dude, I want to go home. I was like, you know, I thought I was going to come here and we were going to like not really talk that much, and we were going to have like just this crazy sex. And I go, and what ended up happening was we like had this amazing conversation, and like the sex was kind of underwhelming, and I'm just a little bit tired and I just want to go home. And so I came back here thinking that nothing was like the big deal, and I actually like really hurt his feelings. He texted me and was like, well, what you told me was that I talked too much and the sex was underwhelming. And I was like, dude, I totally thought we hit it off. Like I thought we were good, you know? And so then like the last guy I kind of dated like that I'm pretty embarrassed about was a Virgo, and he was just such a crybaby. And he looked at me more than once and was like, you know, Katie, you're just a lot. You're a lot, he would say to me. You're a lot. And those of you who have been here, I may or may not know, like, my biggest insecurity is being a lot. Like, when people tell me I'm a lot, that just makes me crawl out of my skin. So basically, like, he like triggered that exact thing inside of me that made me feel like insecure, and he probably did it on purpose, but I'm not really loving this brush. But anyways, we're just going to keep moving on. I'm going to use my Wayne Goss number 19, and I'm going to go into the color Soft Cloud. So basically, he was like, you're a lot, and I'd be like, yeah, motherfucker, I know I'm a lot. Apparently he wasn't. And so that's like been my thing. So after a long time of me being like, why is every Virgo I know like so amazing, and I'm just fucked up, crazy? What's up with this crazy Virgo shit, right? And so I took this astrology class, and basically like I was like essentially like, what gives? Like, what's up with this crazy ass fucking Virgo shit? And I didn't really learn that much in that astrology class, except I've had this like bias against Aries my whole life. And like what I learned in that astrology class is that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it basically like meets everything with the energy that it takes to like start something from a dead stop. So like it like Aries go after things with like a fire. Obviously they're a fire sign, but like they go after things with the energy that it takes to like burst open a seed from, you know, a closed seed shell and like grow a plant, like push it out of the ground. And so like I just learned about all these like different like stereotypes and fears that I've had through like false information that I've received throughout my life, right? And the other thing that I learned is that the reason why some of us don't feel like what we are, like what our sun sign is because of our big three. And so what I learned in that astrology class is that I am a Virgo sun with a Gemini moon and a Scorpio rising. What your rising sign is, so all that means is your sun, my sun was in Virgo when I was born, my moon was in Gemini when I was born, and your ascendant or your rising is where the eastern horizon was what sign the eastern horizon was in the minute you were born. Basically, your sun sign is like your identity. It's the place where you shine, and it's like the personality that you, it's a thing that you can lean into to like find power, or like it's your sense of self and your sense of self-expression. Your moon sign is like what you are, how you are emotionally, what you're like secret, what you keep secret, what you keep hidden, and like how you are like as an emotional being. And then your ascendant, some people say that your ascendant is like the mask you wear. It's basically like the first thing that people see when they meet you, which is why I'm a Scorpio rising, which is why most people like see a Scorpio when they meet me. And so that's the reason why I'm so not Virgo, is because like I'm a Scorpio rising with the Gemini moon. And so the way that you find out what your moon and your rising is by, with the time that you were born, you put in the place, the time, and the date that you were born, and you can find out what your big three are. And so my sponsor says that your ascendant is actually like your soul. You know, other people say that it's like the mask you wear, but if my sponsor says that it's like your soul, I'm inclined to think that she's right for a few reasons. Because one, she saved my fucking life and pretty much continues to save my life all the fucking time. So I'm inclined to fucking take whatever she says as the fucking gospel. And for two, she's a fucking wizard. Like, she's actually like a fucking wizard. Like, she knows shit and she's actually a fucking wizard. So if she says that that's what it is, especially for me, then that's what it is. Basically, that's the reason why I present like a Scorpio and not like a Virgo. I always go out with Virgos and it never fucking works. Like a year ago, me and my sponsor were looking at my chart and realized that I have a Gemini moon, and they say that you may or may not get along. You may or may not really end up hitting it off with somebody who shares their sun sign as your moon sign, because they'll really understand you emotionally and they'll really be able to support you in those ways that you keep inside that you don't show the world. And so like probably a year ago or so, me and my sponsor were looking at my chart, and I had my Gemini moon is in my 7th house, which is like the house of intimacy. Or wait, it's in my 8th house, which is like the house of intimacy. It's like a lot of things, but the houses are all a lot of things. But like, as I say, like for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna say it's the house of intimacy. And so basically both of us were like, she's like, I'm half wondering if you don't just if you're not gonna end up with the Gemini. And at the time I kind of had fear of Geminis because my mom is a Gemini, and like, so I just had like not enough information, and I really was having a hard time making peace with the fact that I had a Gemini fucking moon. But even in that moment, like, I kind of knew she was right. So my boyfriend now that we're like pretty locked. Like, I'm not seeing him. Like, him and Zoe have met. Like, we're kind of making that happen or whatever. But he's a Gemini, and literally, it's like, since I've been dating him, like, he never makes me feel crazy. Like, I never feel crazy when I'm with him. Like, even when I do feel crazy, he never, like, he doesn't think I sound crazy at all. Like, I am not crazy to him. Like, I make sense to him, and like, he is like super like able to be like so supportive of me. It's baffling, honestly. And so I did what's called it's called a synastry chart. And basically it's like when you put two people's charts together. Like, you can do it with your kids, you can do it with your friends, you can do a synastry chart and like just see like how your charts match up, right? Well, he is actually a Gemini sun with a Virgo moon. And basically, if you put our synastry charts together, his sun and my moon are basically like 1 degree apart, and my sun and his moon are like 2 degrees apart. So that's referred to as conjunct. So essentially, my sun and his moon, and his sun and my moon are actually like holding hands. And so, I don't know, dude, we just get along like pretty much like peas and carrots. And when we fight, it's like, we've gotten to a couple fights, they felt really uncomfortable and like really bad at the time, but they were actually like these like opportunities for fucking growth that were really like uncomfortable and difficult, but like then they came back like not. I'm so used to going out with guys who are like, every time I bring something up, they're like, Katie, are you still on this? Like, I thought we were over this. Or like, you know what I mean? Like constantly like, God, why do you always have to do this, Katie? And like, you know, kind of like fucking guilt tripping me and fucking, you know, gaslighting me, making me feel like I'm just being a pain in the ass all the time. And he never fucking does that to me. And he doesn't fucking really feel that way about me. So it's like kind of made me realize like I've had all pretty great boyfriends, but that doesn't mean like they, you know, I've had a lot of great guys, you know what I mean? But they, most of them, not all of them, but I've come to realize since I had this boyfriend that like they all kind of gaslit me to kind of avoid difficult situations. And I feel like that's kind of, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. I'm not the only woman who's like voiced this. He just never does that for me. And our connection is like so powerful that it actually feels like drugs. And I have to be careful because I'll just like start getting strung out on that shit. You know what happens. Everybody knows what it's like to like when you first get into a relationship and you like start to fuck everything up and shit, you know what I mean? But anyways, so yeah, dude, it's just like basically the best relationship I've ever been in, and it's really healthy, and we like are just doing shit, you know what I mean? We have like a really good relationship. We've really worked hard and we've like built something really cool. It's like, it's the coolest thing I've ever been in. Like I've never been in anything like it. And it's almost like, it's like we were meant. I honestly believe that. So I had to use my Sun and Moon palette because my boyfriend actually is my Sun and Moon. Isn't that so cute? This black is like super powdery, but it's like nice and pigmented, but it's like really powdery, so you don't want to play games with this shit, dude. Yeah, and him and I like have so much fun and we laugh so much. And then like we have the best conversations like all the time. Like he's funny too, man. He's fucking funny, like funny. I'll tell you what, I'll let you get away with any fucking thing if you fucking make me laugh a lot, and he is so funny. But he's like really gentlemanly too, like he like opens every door and is like really sweet and fucking does all the shit, like. And it's actually the first time in my life that I've actually like, I just decided like when I was single for all them years, I just decided like the next time I get into a relationship, when my boyfriend, I'm gonna let somebody do nice things for me, because like I'm not that kind of girl. Like I've always been the kind of girl that doesn't like let guys do nice things for me, and then I'm like, why don't guys ever do nice things for me? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like this thing like where I was like such a toughie that I had to like, you know, I couldn't allow that shit. Like I couldn't allow anybody. And like what I know now is that it was about being vulnerable. Like I was never in a relationship that I could trust somebody enough to be vulnerable with them and like trust them enough to like let them know that like I like wanted their help or like needed anything from them. So I just fucked up. I dipped the wrong brush in the black. Boo. You don't want to dip the wrong brush in black. So yeah, he like does all this really good shit for me and to me. I think I'm gonna keep him. No, I'm just joking. I'm not joking. I fucking want to keep him around. I find myself like wanting to do all this nice shit for him because like I don't feel like I don't have to worry that like if I do all this nice shit. So one of the things that I've learned so much about myself since I've gotten in this relationship. Like I have always felt like scared to like be really like doing nice shit for somebody because I've always been afraid that like if I do all this nice shit for you, then you're not gonna do that shit for me, and then I'm gonna be like totally giving and like never getting. And like he's so generous to me and like emotionally like really supportive and giving and loving that like my cup is so full. Like I don't have anything to worry about. Like I just like am able to give and like I don't even think about it, which I think about it because like I've never been able to do that before. And so I honestly believe like when I look at our charts, and I'll show you guys a picture of our charts together, like I'll show you where our sun and moons are like humping. They are. it really like feels like something special, and like I get to be a part of something really fucking special. So anywhoosies, I'm gonna use my Unearthly Glimmer Grasp, and I'm going to, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use my UC88, and I'm gonna give myself a little halo. I'm going to use Deep Space. I'm going to use my ZOEVA 234. I should have known better. Look at how quick that just like did this up. Now I'm going to go back into the black hole, and I'm just going to kind of give that a little tappy. So yeah, I kind of let go of some shit this year, or in 2022, and like got into this like new relationship, and like I'm going through these like changes with my daughter, and like things are really transitioning. But honestly, my life feels really happy, and I wake up happy, and it's like, honestly, I don't know, I'm pretty fucking happy, and it actually feels like really weird to me because I'm not really a happy person. Like people confuse like sarcasm with happiness. Like they think that people that are funny are happy. And I mean, honestly, I mean, is that even true anymore? Because like, no, everybody knows like the funniest people like kill themselves and shit. It's like, I make people laugh a lot, and like that doesn't mean I'm happy. It just means I'm funny, and there's a difference. I think that funny people have a relationship with pain and tragedy that's kind of different. They just have this like sarcastic, hateful spin on things that actually is like hilarious, but like that doesn't make them happy. And like the funniest people have died, which is crazy and sad, but I've been waking up so happy like every day for months, and I know whatever, it is what it is, but like I think it's real. I think like meeting him and like getting together with him has like broken something loose in me that like I was like so shut down and like so closed off and like filled with like fear and like jaded and shit. And I just feel like that's like dissipating, and like my heart is like opening up to all this good shit in my life. And so I don't know, it's just, it feels meant, and either way, no matter what happens, it was meant. Like, that looks so good. Okay, so I just want to do a couple like finishing touches because I'm going to use this JESSUP 230, and I'm going to go into the color Mercury. Oh, here's another thing I'm going to tell you guys. So both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, the planet Mercury, which is the planet of intellect and communication. And we actually got together on the first night of Mercury retrograde on September 9th. And so we basically like started chatting on like a week before Mercury retrograde, and like we hung out for the first time on the first night of Mercury retrograde, and we just haven't shut the fuck up since then. Basically, like he meets me at the Mind, and so this last Mercury retrograde, it just seems like we get along really good during Mercury in retrograde, so that's nice. Whatever the fuck that might mean. I'm just gonna skip this little fucking spritzy poo. And I'm going to take this little Morphe JH42, and I'm gonna take some of that color and put it on my brow bone. And let's see something. I'm gonna clean this off, and I'm gonna put that blue in the center right there. So this is it. This is the look. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face, and I'll be back when I'm done. So this is the manifesto, the pièce de résistance. I use my Rouge and Rogue eye wigs. I don't fucking know what they are. So I use Mercury Wave by KALEIDOS makeup on my lip and then Helios as a topper. And so I forgot that I was gonna do that because I planned this video a long time ago. And so I used Hallucinations and Meteor. I put Hallucinations over the top in the middle and then Meteor as a, I redid a brow bone highlight over the top of the blue, which made it look really cool and dimensional and kind of cosmic. And then I used Sunrise Blue on my waterline and Moon Cruiser as my highlighter and So Retrograde by ColourPop as my blush. So basically like everything I used, it was the name of something that meant like sun. Helios means the sun god. Anyways, I'm going to put a couple moon jewels on because I have them. And I just kind of wanted to finish the video by saying like, dude, this guy does so many nice things for me. He literally like buys me flowers all the time and like writes me little notes every day and like opens my door and like does all this crazy nice shit. And I just was thinking like, I'm so grateful that I waited for the right person and that I held out so that I would be able to have an open hand when the right person came along. No, how's that? Should I put one on the other side or should I just leave this one? I'm gonna get that a little bit more. There we go. Cute, cute. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I didn't just like settle or like take whatever, the first guy that gave me some fucking attention, and that I was able to like just make a decision. Like I was able to choose what I didn't want so that I could hold out for what I did, and I really got like something that I really want and something that I really treasure. I really didn't know like relationships. I knew they existed, I just didn't think they existed for me. So anyways, if you guys are interested in finding out what your sun, moon, and rising is, go to astro.com and plug in your information if you know what time you were born, and it'll tell you what your sun and your moon and your rising is. And then you can use CoStar is a really good app, and so is the Pattern if you want to like find out more about what those things mean. I feel like that's a really good place to start. If I have a lot of people who are like curious. I have a lot of people who don't give a fuck, but like some people do and they're curious. So if you're curious to find out what your sun and your moon and your rising are, then go to that. I'll leave the information in the description box so that you guys can use it. I might be able to put a link down there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because you can't wait to see what happens next. Hit the like button if you like this look, or if you just like my sparkling personality, my voice charm, and hang out with me in the comments because I fucking love it. If you got like halfway through this video and you're like, oh my god, she's so pretty till she opens her big fucking mouth, then go check me out on Instagram. I don't talk as much on Instagram. And if you are like, don't sugarcoat it, Katie, why don't you tell us how you really feel, then go to my Patreon, because I fucking do tell you how I really feel on my Patreon. I go live every Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it's pretty much kicking ass. So thank you so much for watching. You could have been anywhere, but you were here wasting your time with me, and I totally appreciate you. Later.